Hi, I'm Suzanne Shirley, and I'm an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, and this is Chapter 11 of Get Over Your Damn Self by Romi Neustadt, and this is a powerful chapter tonight. I want everybody to really dig in, listen, become introspective as you sit in front of your computer, whether you're watching the video playback, whether you're watching it live with us. We are going to have an incredible discussion after this is over. I really want to hear what you guys have to say. Really dig deep. Take a look at yourself. Take a look at yourself. I'm doing that as well. I'm taking a look at myself. You know, I can't expect you guys to take a look at yourself if I'm not going to do the same thing. So anytime I'm preaching, please know I'm preaching to self. And I always said that with my students. And whenever I was talking to them about any kind of thing and I got on a soapbox about anything, I always told them, please know that I am fallible. I make mistakes. And in no way, shape, or form do I hold myself in a higher regard than any of you. You are equally as amazing as I am, and you are equally as talented and have the equal amount of potential in your life as I do mine. So I always made sure that my students knew that. And as I say that, I'm saying that to you guys as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and say I don't like cursing, especially on a recorded video. But this word bullshit, it's a big word. And it hits home though. And she uses it quite often because there are 14 things that she nails us all on. The bullshit that we tell ourselves. So please know I don't like to curse and I don't use that word all the time. But I think for the reason of saying, going through this chapter, it's appropriate because it is a bunch of BS that we tell ourselves. It is. The BS that we're telling ourselves all the time is keeping us from building a huge business that will set us free, period. It's the truth because your paycheck exists between your two ears. It's what you believe in yourself and who you are is going to control your paycheck and how much you're paid. End of story. And these are the most common excuses, and she's going to call BS on each and every one of them. But she's going to also show us what's really behind those excuses and how you can move past them and into the real exciting work of this life, which is becoming the person that you're meant to be. How else can you become the person that you're meant to be until you start examining your own excuses? And I'm always saying, I have no excuses. I'm like, I don't make any excuses. But maybe I do. Maybe I am and I don't realize it. So let's examine some of this BS. Number one, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. What you're really saying is, quote, I haven't made this a priority. And I think Kelly Ione hit it on the nail head the last time she was on. And she said, really, stop saying you don't have time. It's really, this is not a priority in my life. Until the business is a priority, you will have time management problems, and it will be easy to avoid working your business. Now, that is one of my biggest problems is time management. I'm talking about myself. Because I will do everything else before I work my business. And that is the truth. And when I get going on it, I don't stop. I work and work and work like a Mach 20 with my hair on fire. I worked it all weekend. I started on Friday and I didn't quit until right before this, maybe an hour before when I ate dinner. But I will be honest with you. I will work it like that. And then I will be so exhausted that I will take a few days off that turn into another few days and basically start managing. I'm answering questions. People will send me a message. They'll ask me a question. Somebody that I've already reached out to, they'll respond and I'll just respond to them. And I do all these, and you know what? I have yet to find harmony. And it's my own fault. It is my own fault. I'm just going to be honest with you. I mean, gosh, geez, Louise, if I can go to Senior Ruby and Emerald and I still struggle with time management, then you should realize you can go to Senior Ruby and Emerald too. Period. Okay? I struggle with time management because I'm self-employed and I work from home. And I worked my ass off for 23 years and got up at 4 a.m. in the morning for 23 years. And I'm tired of getting up with an alarm, so I don't get up with an alarm. But guess what? I probably should, if I want to be able to use the morning hours and actually get some stuff done. I love the fact that I don't have to go to the gym at 6 o'clock at night and be exhausted after a long day. So I go in the mornings. Well, what am I doing before then? I could be up early doing my business, getting all the meat and potatoes done of my IPA instead of waiting till the end of the day and it's the last thing I do. How often have we all done that? Yep. Just being honest. It's not easy, but this is some BS, and we have to get real with each other here. We got to get real with ourselves, So look at yourself. I don't have time for this really means I have not made this a priority. It is not a priority in my life. Ouch. That does not feel good. We find time for every freaking other thing in our lives, and we do that stuff. And yes, I related to when she says I'm staying up late watching the Game of Thrones, even though it means you're not going to get your 7 hours of sleep. You got me. I'm a Game of Thrones addict. I love Game of Thrones. It's on tonight, for that matter, and I will be watching it. Have I done my work? Yes, I have. But I'm just saying, I relate to her. Okay, she's calling me out here, right? She says, next time you find yourself saying, I don't have time, instead trying saying it's not a priority and see how that feels. See how it feels. I don't have time to make calls to 3 new people today becomes it's not a priority for me to make 3 calls to 3 new people today. It's not a priority to call 3 people today. That's really what you're saying. If it's not a priority, then that's totally cool. Then this is your business. That's fine. This is your business. You make it what you want to be. But don't go around kidding yourself, or should I say lying to yourself, that your business your business partners that you want to build a huge business when you're really not willing to make this top priority. Are you willing to make this a top priority? That's the question. Are you going to continue to lie yourself? Remember, we thoroughly explored in chapter 2, your why has to be big enough to outweigh any pain or inconvenience that comes from building this sucker, she says. It's got to outweigh any pain or inconvenience. It could be because you're spending your time in the wrong place, though. What if you're spending your time in the wrong place? The number one thing you have to make time for is personal prospecting. Number one, your business, your personal business is number one. That's why we're doing the 90-day challenge, because that is what will get you to Leaders Retreat. That's what will get you to rank up in Plexus. That's what will grow your team, is your personal business. Your team is going to see you working and recruiting, and they will simply do what you do. End of story. That's really what's going to happen. It's not you going around teaching them how to do it. It's you doing it, and then they catch on. Remember, leadership is more caught, they catch on, than it's taught. If all I did was sit around and teach you how to recruit, and I never recruited anybody, you would not be doing any recruiting. You'd be just turning around and telling everybody else how to recruit. Suzanne told me how to recruit. I'm going to teach you how to recruit. Well, then nobody's recruiting. We're all teaching each other how to recruit, and no one's doing the work. Hello? Leadership is more caught than taught. And I'm sorry, I'm going to have to blow my nose. I'm so sorry. I'll get off the camera here for a second, okay? All right. Leadership is more caught than taught. So, number one priority, your personal recruiting, your personal business. So no matter what else happens to your schedule, you've taken care of what you can personally control, which is your own personal business and training brand new ambassadors, helping them with 3-way calls, helping them to recruit their first levels, their first 3 or more if necessary. Now that's 80% of your time. If you feel like you've got too many team responsibilities going on, guess what? You are managing your team. Let me be clear, she says, the number one responsibility you have for your team is to set a pace and a duplication model that your team can follow, meaning you get out there and recruit. You go out and prospect, and pull some people in your funnel and show your team that you're doing it. All right, so intellectually it makes sense, right? So why don't you have enough time to reach out and talk to people? Why don't you have enough time? You're saying you don't have enough time. Well, why? Because it's hard. Meaning mechanically it's hard? No, it's hard up here. It's hard up here, okay? It's not the mechanics of it or the logistics of reaching out. Everybody knows you pick up a phone, you dial a number, and you say a few things. That's not so easy, right? It's the fear factor that's going on up in your head. Being vulnerable, talking to people about what you're passionate about, sharing your passion with somebody, fearing rejection, putting yourself out there, right? That's what's hard. So what does she do? She gives you an example, and boy, did I relate to this. Oh my gosh, who relates to this on page 145? She gives you a list of all the stuff that she went and did in spite of the fact that she sat down to do 2 hours of writing. She sat down to do 2 hours of writing about making excuses and the BS. I can't bring myself to say bad words. Not on a video, for crying out loud. About the BS from her head to her fingers on a page. Yes, we all do it, Lori. Here's her example. Number one, she checked Facebook direct messages and then sent out 2 of them. Then she checked her email and responded to 3 of them. Then she sent a reminder email to her guest that's going to be on the weekend, that week's training call. I relate to all this. Made a blowout appointment, like with her hair, which I remembered to do after typing blowout appointment. Then number 5, got up to order an iced tea at the Starbucks because the girl can't write when she's thirsty, she says. I got to have something to drink. And then she updated her grocery list. Then she checked to see who had RSVP'd for the summer party. And then she went to the bathroom because she drank too much iced tea. So hello, who relates to that? I certainly do. I get all the little stuff done, and then the big thing is still sitting there. You know? Why did I not do 2 hours of writing when I sat down to do it, she says. Because writing is hard. It's putting yourself out there on the line. It's being vulnerable. It's thinking. It's being productive and creative. It's hard, okay? To be perfectly honest, this whole book would have been done and to the publisher months ago if I weren't so damn hard to put myself out there and be so damn easy to avoid the hard stuff. That's what she's saying. It's easy to avoid the hard stuff. And the book would have been done a lot earlier if she would have just gotten down to brass tacks and got the thing done. Here's the big thing. I put, out to the side on this one. I'll bet you $1,000 that you're doing everything else in your business before you're talking to people about your business. She said, I'll bet you $1,000. Who would bet $1,000? If she bet me $1,000, she would win that $1,000. I'm doing every little other thing, getting all the little things crossed off the list before I actually go in there and talk to people about my business. I am number one. I've been doing that a lot. It's so much easier to reach out and have a coaching call with somebody that you're going to tell them what to do when you're not even doing it. Oh, does that hurt or what? Oh, preaching to self, right? It's much easier to call up your accountability partner and complain about the latest out of stock product. Yeah. Hey, I'll just call Angela and tell her what the latest crap is. You know, I'm serious. Like, hey, did you go running this morning? Hey, what'd you have for breakfast? Hey, did you get everything done over the weekend? Okay, I guess I better get to work. Huh? That's what we do. We do that, right? Once again, tell the team member to reach out and talk to 3 new people a day because she's still not doing it. Well, guess what, sister? Neither are you. Neither are you. You're not doing it either. Hello. So what do you need to do to grow a lucrative business? These things, period. Reach out and talk to people about your business and your products and find those who are looking for what you have to offer. This is where the vast majority of your time is spent. 80% of your time needs to be doing that. Period. I don't care how you get it done, whether it's your warm market, your cold market, strangers out on the street, garage sales, however you want to dice it and slice it. Go talk to people about Plexus that you've not talked to before. Train your newbies on the basics. Do 3-way calls for your newbies and your other direct business partners. Strategize with your runners about how to support those on their team who are jogging or running. And recognize and praise their accomplishments. Those are the things that you need to be doing big time. All that other junk is just junk. It's fluff. Okay? It is. So she gives you a challenge to actually get in action and do this. Over this next week, make a list of all the things that you spend your time doing for your business and the actual time that you spend doing it. Like, how long have you spent doing it? Like, write down, I spent 30 minutes doing XYZ. I spent 20 minutes doing this. I spent 40 minutes doing that. Whatever the time frame, write it down what you do for your business and write down how much time you were doing it. She says, I think you'll be amazed where your time is going and what it is and where it's not going. Then take a red pen to all the things that do not fall into one of these above categories that she lists. Finally, schedule in the hard stuff, dedicated time to reach out and talk to people about your business and your products. It's going to be an eye-opener. It's like taking inventory, looking at your checkbook, taking a look at your credit card statement, getting on the scale. That's what all this means. Not that we need to go get on the scale and get all upset or anything, but what I'm saying is take inventory. Do a self-analysis. Look at yourself. What are you doing? Number 2, I'm talking to enough people. BS. None of us are. Okay, honest to God, ready? If I were talking to enough people, I would be a diamond already. Oops. 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 That's the truth. Sorry, the truth hurts. If I were talking to enough people, I would probably already be a diamond. 2.5 years in. Now, does that mean I need to be upset and scold myself and be all upset and compare myself to others? No, that's not what I'm saying. But honest, let's talk. It's a numbers game. You talk to enough people, you're going to find people that are passionate about what you're doing and join you, and they're going to start growing a team. It's not about the team you've got that's going to get you to the next rank. It's about you going finding new ones and getting them going. Do you hear me? Preaching to self, guys. I'm preaching to you, preaching to me. It's not about the current team that you have that's going to get you to the next rank. You rank up by outside primary points. Let's all say that you've got a runner that's going to town on your team and sponsoring and growing and finding other runners. If you sit back and you've just got enough points outside of them to maintain rank or move up to the next one, you're going to grow very slowly, and that runner is going to quit running because they're going to see that you're not running, you're not adding, you're not recruiting, and your team is going to come to a dead halt, stand still, might even go backwards. You rank up by going and finding some more runners. You rank up by continually finding some more people, turning them into business builders or finding some business builders. That's how you rank up. Get them to silver. Get them to gold. Okay? We're not talking to enough people. It's a bunch of BS. It's a big old piece of BS, she says. Doric Carl was one of her big people on her team, challenged to double the amount of people that she reached out to in 1 week. She challenged herself. Double the amount of people. She added more business partners and customers in that week than she had ever done in the prior 5 weeks combined. Prior 5 weeks combined. Now, what does that tell you? It's a numbers game. She said, I didn't know that I wasn't talking to enough people until I started talking to enough people. Preach it, sister. She didn't even know she wasn't talking to enough until she actually started talking to enough. Dorrit had tricked herself into thinking that she was really talking to enough people. In reality, she only had a few people in her funnel. I have a few people in my funnel. And those few people were set to sign up on Friday and Saturday. And they didn't. And we were supposed to get on the phone. We had phone conversation appointments. And don't you do this when you got phone conversation appointments or specific appointments to sign people up and then they don't? Your funnel is dry because you are banking on those 3 people. There's my 3 for the month. Well, we've still got a few more days left in the month. I'm going to try to pull them in. But I'm telling you, I mean, come on, we're all guilty of this. The exercise was like a slap in the face, she admitted. She had been fooled into thinking that she was really busy. Fooled herself. It changed the way I work my business for good. So what's the 5-3-2 method? The 5-3-2 method is really, really great. And it sounds so simple. If you just do it, right? That's what we're doing in the 90-day challenge, basically. Reach out to 5 new people a day, follow up with 3 people in your funnel, and quickly check in with 2 of your business partners, even if it's just a quick text of encouragement or just shout out on Facebook. How easy is that? You don't need to get on the phone with a runner on your team and have a full-blown hour conversation. Just go out there and encourage them. Send them a voice text, send them a text, send them a Facebook shout out. Reach out to 5 people and follow up with 3. That's simple. Doesn't that sound simple? It also caused her excitement and her belief to grow. So once she started, all this started happening, she started believing herself more. She started seeing consistent results. And she talked her way, notice talked her way. She talked her way like this, called people a lot. She talked her way into a free Lexus. Luxurious trips for her and her husband, Scott, to Hawaii and to London and to the top of the company. Talked her way there. Her team's duplication and her paycheck continue to increase. So you need to ask yourself or your team member, if necessary, how many times have you presented the opportunity this week? How many times have you actually presented the opportunity to someone this week? Ask yourself that. Are you just going through motions, or are you actually talking to people about the business? How many people? How many 3-way calls have you done this week? Sorry, that doesn't feel good, I know. But I'm still waiting for the barrage of 3-way calls that never come my way. I'm just being honest. Okay. And I think one of the biggest things, here's one of the biggest things. We say we're coachable. We say we are. I'm coachable. I do everything my sponsor tells me. I do everything Suzanne says to do. I do it. Bull crap. Oh, I just said that. Bull crap. You're not doing 3-way calls. You're not coachable. I just called you on it. Love ya. Sorry, I love ya very much, but you're not doing 3-way calls. Who are you talking to? I don't know who you're talking to. Get them on a chat with me. Don't be afraid. Get them on a chat. Get them on a chat, which will lead to a call. Get them on a chat with me. And I think she says later on, one of the other pieces of BS that y'all tell yourselves, and I do too, but is that we don't need I don't need to do 3-way calls. I don't need to do them. I don't need 3-way calls. BS, sorry. Are you a jewel yet? You need 3-way calls. Have you ranked up yet? You need 3-way calls. You need 3-way texts. Use third-party validation. Let me just stop right there. I've gotten ahead of myself. I know I have, because me and I love that point that she makes. Okay, I've jumped ahead, but I'm going to just take advantage of this right now. We went to Mastermind a year ago from this coming November. Last November, went to Mastermind. Every single massive, huge leader on the stage does three-way calls. Even the amazing Randy Gage, who's a multi-trillionaire, okay? He does three-way calls. He uses third-party tools. He doesn't just sit there and go, blah, 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 here's my business, here's my opportunity. No, he has somebody else say it. He has third-party validation. He uses third-party tools. Everybody does it. The amazing Sarah Marble. No, take that back. Yeah, her too. Sarah Robbins, Rockin' Robbins, right? She's the top earner in Rodan and Fields. And she preaches three-way phone calls, preaches it all over her book. That little book that I send out to my new ambassadors. I'm telling you guys, that's where the money is. You want to start signing people up? Get them on a three-way chat and a three-way call with your sponsor. I can't help it. I love you. And that's why I'm saying it. Okay, I jumped ahead. So are you coachable? I don't know. I don't think so. Not if you're not doing that. You're lying to yourself. The biz is a numbers game. There's no way to BS the numbers. You can't BS the numbers. I just can't say that word. Can't say the actual word. Can't do it. If you're adding business partners and customers, then you're most likely, if you're not, take that back. If you're not adding business partners and customers, you're most likely not talking to enough people. So make sure you're actually talking to new people. And she says every damn day. Every damn day. New people. You can't lie your way out of the numbers. Okay, number 3, I've recruited enough people. Okay, here's where it gets, oh man, I say here's where it's all bad. It's all gets on you, okay? I've recruited enough people. Maybe you've been telling yourself, hey, I've been working this numbers game. I've recruited 20 or 30 or 40 people, and I'm not where I should be or thought I should be. Let's take a check up from the neck up here. Let's think about this thing for a minute. If it only took recruiting that small number, wouldn't you hear about enormous success stories in this business channel all the time? We don't hear that. So this must not be enough. 20, 30, and 40 people is not enough to get where you need to go. I was an Emerald, and I had recruited almost 80, if not over 80 people. And I should have more than that. In fact, I think I'm burgeoning on 100 now. I haven't, I need to go back and count. In fact, I'm going to count right now. I'll just like humor myself. How about that? I got them right here. Hang on. I have recruited 36 under Tom. And I have recruited 43 under myself. 76, 79. Okay, 79. It's not 100. I'm not going to sit there and lie to you. 79 people. Okay, 79 people. So have you recruited 40, 50, 60, 79 people until you get there? You have, I mean, seriously, and that's not enough even, guys. That's not enough. It's not enough. All right. Back to what she says. We recruited at least 100 people in our first 2 years. So I haven't hit that number, and I'm getting to be in November. I'm 2.5 years. I have not done 100. There you go. I'm below where she says to go. Okay. We recruited at least 100 people in our first 2 years. If you're in your 3rd year of your business and you've recruited fewer than 50 people and you are not where you want to be, there's your big clue. Bam. Bam. I don't know what else to say. It's right there in black and white. I challenge you to commit to bring in 25 people in the next 6 months. For some of you, that's a big thing to do. That's a lot. 6 months, 25 people. How many people is that a month? Somebody do the math. 6 divided by 25. What is that? Come on, somebody. Do I have to pull out my calculator? I want to pull out my calculator. Somebody's going to beat me to the punch. Come on, beat me to the punch. 6 months divided by 25. Nobody's beating me to the punch. Come on. 2.4 people a month? No, am I right? 6 divided by 25. 0.24, is that 2.5 people a month? So 2 to 3 people a month? Okay, and we say go for 3 people every single month. Am I right? Did I do the math right? No, 4 people. 4 people a month. Thank you, mathematicians. Appreciate that. I suck at that. I was a Spanish teacher. I don't know what I just did. 25, or should I, okay, forget it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I screwed that up. So 25 people in the next 6 months, that's an average of 4 people a month. And then 25 more people in the next 6 months after that. That would be 50 people in a year. 50 people in a year. So what if you fall short? Who cares? You'll shoot for the moon, but land among the stars, and you'll still be a lot closer to your goal than you are now. Among those new people, you've now found people who have come to play big. There's going to be some big players now. And your bank account will definitely be happier for all of your efforts. It will reflect your efforts. You will have a bigger paycheck, way bigger paycheck. Okay, now here's the one that I skipped ahead to. I'm being coachable, but nothing's happening. Now, we got to ask ourselves, are we really being coachable? Oh man, boy, this hits home. Get ready, guys. I'm sure you think you're being coachable, and you may in fact really be trying to be coachable. You're trying to be. But if you were 100% coachable, you'd be seeing your success. Are you really talking to enough people? Are you leading with the business? Defaulting on the products? Are you hiding behind emails and texting to talk to your network? Or are you actually picking up the damn phone, as she says? Picking up the damn phone like you're coached to do. If you're hiding behind your texting, you're not coachable. You're still not doing what you're being told to do. Are you being consistent? Are you touching your business every day? Are you having faith in the 3-way call? Are you having faith in the 3-way call? Are you working on what's between your ears every day? If you're not doing all that stuff, guess what? You're not coachable. You might think you are. You might be trying to be, but you're not. Ouch. Ouch. That hurts. Preach to yourself, Suzanne. Remember, I'm preaching to me just like I'm preaching to you. Okay? This one is a big chapter. It's like a come to Jesus chapter. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. This one's hilarious. I've heard this so often. I can't even tell you how many oh my gosh, I've heard this. Oh, I've got a runner. I've got a runner. I got a runner now. I got a runner. And she says, this drives me absolutely bat S-word crazy. And I have to say, I'm like, you got a runner? What's that runner doing? Are they kicking the tires, getting 100 PV every month? Post on Facebook once? That's no runner. That is not a runner. Okay, so I hear this all the time. She says, I hear it all the time. I do hear it. Oh my gosh, I've got this runner, or this rock star, or this great business builder, or this new business partner, whatever noun you want to use to describe someone who's going faster than average. Reality is that runner has been stuck at the minimum personal volume to be commissionable for the last 3 months in a row. Okay, people, that's not a runner or a superstar or a rock star. That's a dabbler. It's a dabbler who's doing the minimum requirement to earn commission in a pay plan. That's it. It's not a runner. Mediocre at best. Who's a runner? You ready? Who is a runner? What is a runner, guys? Get ready for ouch. A runner is somebody who follows the system to the letter, who reaches out to new people all the time, who brings you multiple 3-way calls and chats every single week, who adds new business partners every single month and never stops doing it. That's a runner. A runner, if you don't know what a runner is until you got one, you don't know what one is until you got one. So stop saying you got a new runner until they're doing all that stuff. And guess what? Are you a runner? Are you doing all that stuff? Ooh. Sorry. That hurts. And I wrote, ouch. Look, I did. I wrote, ouch, in the outside. I did. It hurts. It hurts seeing that, right? Be realistic about what you've really got. If you're fooling yourself that you got a bunch of runners and rock stars who are in fuego, right? Wholesale customers, dabblers, and hobbyists, then you're going to slow down your activity. And this is just going to keep you from finding people out there who are going to actually really run with you. I can't help myself but read this. And I underlined it and said, oh, out in the side. Another reason we mischaracterize or exaggerate the activity and commitment of those on our teams is because it makes it easier to justify spending our own time coaching them instead of actually doing the hard stuff ourselves. Oh my gosh, I got a runner. I'm just going to teach them how to run. I got a runner. I'm just going to tell them what to do. And I'll just sit back and let them run for a while. I'll take a break. I've been working too hard. I got a runner now. Oh, we might not be saying that out loud, but we're really doing that. We do that from time to time. I've done it. I did it for Senior Ruby 15 months. I don't think I did it the whole 15 months, but I did it half of that 15 months. I sat back and thought the team that I had was going to get me to Emerald. I was like, we hit Senior Ruby on February of 2016. 3 months later, bam, we're going to be Emerald. No, it did not happen. No. And then I thought, well, they're just going to get them. No, we're just going to get it all together. All I need to do is just get my 3 a month. Get my 3. You've heard my story, right? And then finally that fall, I got my freaking butt together and realized I needed to get my personal business and go find some rock stars and quit just finding 3. 3 is good, but you need 3 business builders. You don't just need 3 wholesale ambassadors. You need 3 business builders. You need some runners. Okay, here's number 6. I can only sell the products. That's all I can do. I just can't do anything else. Oh, she says, stop. I can't say this word. Kathy, you're better at this than me. You can say all kinds of words. You want to say it for me? You want to say it? Stop D word around. Yeah, I see you mouthing it. Okay, I can't hear you. Now I can't hear you. You have to unmute yourself. Are you going to do something? Okay, say it.
I thought you muted me. So I don't use that word. I use other words, but I never use that word. That's a weird word.
Okay, it's a weird word. Did you say the F word there? Stop effing around?
Yeah, I would use the F word before
Okay, well, I don't think we can get like that, but I'm telling you, she's getting down to it. Get real with yourself. Get real with your team. Stop effing around, like she says, right? Do the hard stuff and grow your wealth. Okay, I only can sell the products. Wrong, total BS. Total BS. Real problem is that you're leading with the products and not talking enough about the business. Look, guys, I have heard it before. I've even bought into the myth that Plexus is so different from all the other companies. Our products are so much way better than anyone else's company. And so they all just come to us about the products. And we need to talk about the products first because they're so amazing and they change lives. True, but we're no different than any other company. We are a business. And we are in this to make money, aren't we? Yes, we want to help people. I understand that we do. We want to change lives, but we're never going to rank up if we just get a bunch of product takers. We've got to share the business. So there's 2 reasons why people don't lead with the business. Number 1, they're insecure. Number 2, here we go, not coachable. Not coachable. Just won't do it. Not doing it. Being told to do it, just not doing it. But there's the inescapable truth. You get what you ask for. If you do not talk about the business, you're never going to add business partners, ever. You've got to talk about it. Plus, the conversation flow doesn't work. So let's just say that you talk to somebody about the products and they go, hey, no, I don't want to use your products. Well, then how in the world can you turn around and go, well, how about considering building a business with these products that you have no belief in and don't want to even have anything to do with? I mean, you can't go from product to business. You can't just hope they fall in love with them and a year later start sharing. I mean, you're never going to get what you need to go. You need to start with the business and default to the product. Start with the business, and then the second thing is the product, right? If you're leading with the products, you're likely doing it because it feels safe. It's just safe. It's comfortable. And the important thing to figure out is why. Why is it so uncomfortable for you to lead with the business? That right there is what you need to start working on. If it's uncomfortable for you to lead with the business, then there is something going on. There's a reason why it's uncomfortable for you. You've got to figure that out and work on that because you want to rank up. Oh, here's the one. I don't need three-way calls. I don't need three-way calls. How many times have I said that? I don't need a three-way call. Well, I will tell you, Christine did say, I don't do three-way calls. She did say that early on. I read the Sarah Robbins book. I even told her, I'm like, Sarah Robbins says three-way calls. That's the big way thing to do. Suzanne, I don't do three-way calls, and I'm ranking up to Emerald without them. I'm like, okay, well, I've done it without going and doing three-way calls. I've never had her on a three-way call in my life. I can't blame her for not doing three-way calls. If I really wanted to do three-way calls, I'd be on the phone with Chris McCall. He offers to do them all the time. I cannot give an excuse. There is no excuse to be made. This is some major league bullshit. Major league. I'm saying it right there because I'm calling it on that. It's major league bullshit. Brand spanking new or seasoned veteran in the profession, doesn't matter. You need three-way chats and phone calls. End of story. You're not doing them? Sorry. BS. You're not coachable. Sorry to say it, but it's the truth. Number 8, I don't have the right network. BS. You're prejudging. You really have no idea or that somebody needs or maybe looking for something that you have until you have a conversation with them. You know, when you start to talk to people, you'll know what they're looking for or needing. And until you do that, you won't know it. So more times than not, when you offer up this excuse, what you're really saying is, I'm too chicken to reach out to people who could really run with this and make themselves and me a fortune. I'm just a chicken. Sorry. I'm just a chicken. I don't have the right network. Really, I'm just a chicken. I'm chicken, right? So you may also be saying, and this greatly saddens Romi because she says this, I don't think I'm worthy of great success. That's another reason that you think that your network, you make the excuse that you don't have the right network, but really you just don't believe that you're deserving of the success. That's sad. Number 9, I don't want to be that person who people want to run away from. I don't want to sell to my friends. I don't want to bother my friends. I just don't want to bother them. Well, I don't want to be that person either. Who wants to be that person? You're not bothering people. It's your mental set, your mindset of what you're thinking that you're doing when you're talking to people about something that will change their life. Really, what you're doing is being professional and kind and loving. You're not bothering people. What if you knew that the next person that you message on Facebook or start a conversation desperately needs to earn more money so she can get out of a broken marriage? She's not going to tell you that right off. What if the next person that you run into around town is living in a fancy house that she can no longer afford and is going to go to the food bank to feed her girls? That's Christy White. That's Christy White right there. Diamond Ambassador was getting ready to be completely on the street. No food in the house. Joined Plexus. Got 2 carts of groceries within the first 5 weeks and enough money to buy her products in 5 weeks. That's what she did. You don't know that unless you start talking to people. What if the next person that you call is trying to recapture an identity outside of their mom and wife life and misses out on some social or intellectual or financial benefits of working and needs flexibility? What if the next person you're talking to needs that? You're not going to know that until you talk to them. These are real stories from the people on her team, and they're all driving around their Starfire Pearl Sexy Lexis. She calls them Sexy Lexis, right? Those are Lexuses. They take it seriously. For the right people, you have a gift. You have a gift for the right people that this is right for. You have a gift to offer them. So don't decide for someone else whether they need this gift or not. Think highly enough to let them decide for themselves. Ask them to take a look. Ask them just take a look at this. Take a look at it. See if it's a right fit for you. They're programmed to say no. People are going to say no every time, okay? No one's just going to say yes to you. Everyone's going to say no. They're programmed to do it, okay? If they say no, do not take it personally. Move to the next person. Remember to reach out to follow up with those no's. There's so many people that are Lexus drivers on the team that said no first, but really meant not right now. They meant not right now. Okay. So, Sexy Lexis, they're just for short. They're calling them Sexy Lexis. I don't want to work from appointment to appointment because I really don't want to be pushy. Who has done that? I've done that. We've all done it. Look, you're not pushy if you set up the next appointment when they can't get with you. Like these 3 people that did not get on the phone with me, I texted them and said, hey, I am here for you. I'm going to be working today. I'm going to stay home and be working. I normally would not be home all day, but I am going to be. I'm going to do some things. I'm here to chat with you. If I don't hear from you this afternoon, I will be calling you tomorrow and let's set up the next appointment. I seriously did that. Okay? You've got to be a bit of pushy. You've got to be a little bit pushy, even though you don't want to. It's called being professional, really, because everybody says no. Everybody does, and everybody has excuses and other things that they're doing. They're not thinking about Plexus, and they think about that. So stop pussyfooting around and efficiently lead your prospects through the process of discovering if this is a good fit for them. Do not set up appointments. If you don't set them up, you'll be chasing people. Have you ever felt like you're chasing people around? And if you don't set up appointments, you will feel like you're chasing folks, like you're always after them, like you're hunting them. And you don't want to do that. It's undoubtedly going to make you feel pushy and like one of those people. So save yourself that grief and be professional. Be professional. Lead them through the appointment. Number 11, it should be easier. Jim Rohn has a famous statement. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. It's not going to get easy. You're confusing simple with easy. What we do is simple. It's a simple process. It's a simple procedure. Wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. It's not hard as in the mechanics of what we do. But remember, the hard part is up here. So this is what you're dealing with. It's not so easy. Give me an example of another incredibly rewarding endeavor that's easy. Marriage is not easy. Parenthood is not easy. Earning an advanced degree is not easy, not in a long shot. Running a marathon is not easy. Losing 100 pounds, not easy. Getting and staying in good shape, not easy. They're hard work. Lots of hard work, but they're also very, very rewarding. So stop bitching that it's not easier and just work harder and smarter. Mark Cuban says, work like there is somebody working 24 hours a day to take it away from you. Now that's some kind of work right there. In other words, consistently work your ass off and you will see success. It is not complicated. Period. It's not complicated. Number 12, I feel like I'm really scolding you and I don't like it. I don't want to scold people. I love y'all. So please know I am talking to myself here. Please know that. I'm guilty of every single one of these, okay? So I'm right there in the pit with you. I'm in the trench. It doesn't matter what rank I am. It really doesn't, okay? I'm guilty of every single one of these. I just don't want you to feel scolded. That's not what I want you to do. The never-ending stream of success stories in our profession, says Romi, of people that every type of background imaginable proves that this is utter BS. What's utter BS? I don't have what it takes to be a leader. I don't have what it takes to be a leader. Or here's one. I've heard this before. I don't want to be a leader. I just don't want to be a leader. But they want the paycheck. That's the truth. They want the paycheck. They don't want to be a leader. That's some tough stuff. It is. I don't have what it takes to be a leader. Well, utter BS, according to Romi. And it is, it's BS. You do have what it takes to be a leader. Absolutely you do. So what does it take? You're really telling yourself that you don't believe that you have what it takes to lead, or that you don't deserve the success. What are you going to do that makes you become a leader? You're going to do the work instead of talking. You're going to walk the talk. You're going to walk it out. You're going to do all the things that need to be done. You're going to recruit. You're going to prospect. You're going to train. You're going to implement. You're going to get them to 3, get them to silver. Recruit, prospect, train, get them to silver. You keep doing that, and guess what? Your team watches you do it. You are a leader. End of story. And by just doing that, you are inspiring them. You're an inspiration. Okay? You are leading. You'll find yourself leading if you're doing that. Okay? Women with very accomplished corporate careers, all the way to stay-at-home moms who've never worked outside of the home, have these doubts. So common, thinking that they just can't be a leader. Well, I'm not born with leadership. No, nobody is. Nobody is a born leader. It's learned. Ask John Maxwell. That's the very first principle in his book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Leadership is learned. You are not born a leader. You have to learn it from another leader. You learn leadership from another leader. You're not just born that way. And I don't care if people have natural tendencies to be to be bold or audacious or brave or whatever. That's fine. That doesn't make them a leader. Remember that. There's so much more to leadership than just being bold and brave and outgoing. Okay, she's calling BS on that too, because offensive line coach Jason McIndoe sums it up nicely saying this: leadership is influence. And John Maxwell says it. Leadership is influence, 100%, nothing more, nothing less. Leaders are agents of change that add value to those around them and make a positive impact on their organization. Good leaders inspire their followers to have confidence in themselves, but great leaders inspire their followers. Hold on, I said it wrong. Good leaders have the capability to have their followers have confidence in them as the leader. But absolutely stellar leaders have the power to instill the belief in their followers for themselves. In other words, great leaders make you believe in yourself, not just in the leader's capabilities, right? Leadership is not complicated. Anybody can do it. Anybody can. By just showing your team how to build. So walk the talk. And you're going to be inspiring people without even trying to do it. And that's her point. Number 13, I'm going to make mistakes. Well, yeah, You are going to make mistakes. But what she's talking about, the BS part, is that somehow you're telling yourself that you're not supposed to make mistakes to be successful. In other words, I'm not supposed to fail at this. Why am I such a failure? I keep failing and I'm not supposed to fail. So I'm making mistakes. Well, duh. You're going to have to make 1 billion of them to get where you need to go to be successful. Okay? It's like this idea that you're not supposed to make mistakes, or somehow there are other humans who are anointed at birth with immunity from screwing up and coming short of falling flat. Oh, like the Immaculate Celeste Gwynn and the Immaculate Sheila Medina. They must have had something that we don't have. Okay, enough. That is so not true. Okay, they're just people just like us. We can learn how to do anything really well without making mistakes. We can't. I just said it wrong again. I make it a bad statement. We cannot learn how to do anything really well unless we are willing to go out there and get our hands dirty and get our knees bloody and make mistakes. We just have to. Richard Branson says, failure is simply indispensable to the entrepreneurial experience. Nobody gets everything right every time, and it is how we learn from our mistakes that defines who we are. Okay? Here's a good exercise after you fail. When you fail, stop and think about what happened, why it happened, and then what can you learn from it? And then guess what? Let it go. You're going to make mistakes. You've got to learn to forgive yourself and let it go. You're going to make mistakes, right? And then this is a proven and valuable exercise that's going to help you to avoid making the same mistake again, but also to gain insights that help you to be better, happier, and more fulfilled. Number 14 is the last one. It's saturated where I live. This business just doesn't work in our town. I don't have anybody near me to help me. Oh my word. How many people built their business in a small town? Sonia Dudley lives in a town of 500 and something people in Tennessee. And she is one of the top diamonds in this company with multiple diamonds underneath her. Christy White lived in a town called Leakey, Texas, in East Texas, in a town of less than 500 people. Didn't even have a Wi-Fi out on her farm, was almost bankrupt, and went diamond in 2.5 years. Okay? Where there is somebody that says, I can't do this because of this, that, and the other, there's always somebody else out there doing it. So you can't make those blanket statements. Look, Celeste Gwynn has a bunch of diamonds and jewels in McKinney Christian Academy amongst the parents and the teachers in that same school. How can you have all those jewels in one school? And if you've ever seen the picture, there's a picture of the field with all these Lexuses lined up, that's the plural, that's what I'm going to say, lined up out in front of the field in the school, okay? And each one of them is a jewel that has, what? At least a minimum of 2,000 people on a jewel team? Now, okay, at one school, how is that possible? Because each one of those people has a different network. They don't all have the same network. Just because they all are at the same school doesn't mean that they have influence over the same network. They all have different networks all over the country. And that's the same thing about anyone in a small town, like in Ardmore. In Ardmore, Oklahoma, there's like 6 diamonds in Oklahoma, in Ardmore alone. There's Lori Ward Harrison, there's Jetty Harrison, there's Tammy Elmore, there's her sister, what else? What's her name? You get the picture? There's tons of jewels and diamonds in one tiny little town. And it's not because they all have the same network in that same area. They all have different networks all around the country. So that's the point she's trying to make. We have a short time here. At the end of our days, we want to look back and know that we were brave and audacious. Or do we want to look back and have a life of excuses? We've got to ask ourselves that. All these stories that you're making up in your head are a complete waste of your time and energy. They're just excuses. When we make excuses like this, we're really just scared, and we're really not good enough or worthy of our success. What are your limiting beliefs about yourself? What are they? Where do they come from? What are your past failures? What were you told growing up? A lot of that sounds like Sonia Dudley. What were you told yesterday by the prospect who said that she thought your business was stupid? The truth is, we each have everything within ourselves to succeed. Oh my gosh, is that not the truth or what? You have the potential inside of you to do anything that you want to. And that means diamond. Did you know that? Anything you want. You have it. The question is, do you believe it? Because I believe it in you. I see it in you, and I want to shake you sometimes and go, why don't you just do this? Look at, you've got 800 people on your friends list. Why are you not talking to them all? Let's get them on the phone. I'm just like, look, you can do this. You can do it. You can. I know you can do it. The question is, do you believe you can do it? So the truth is, what are those 5 things that make people unsuccessful? You've got to get away from those things. You got to have hunger, beyond hunger. You got to want this bad more than anything. You have got to be willing to get completely coachable and say, Suzanne, I'm going to do the stuff that's hard, and I'm going to do it. Even though it's hard, I'm going to get the 3-way calls. I'm going to do those 3-way texts. I promise I'm going to do it. I'm going to be coachable and learn how to do it. You got to learn how to do it. Once you get that down, it's going to be like this. You're going to be putting people in chats all the time. Consistency. And then willingness to get uncomfortable. Those are the 5 things. Oh, last one, resilience. Resilience, which is perseverance. That's one of the biggest things people are lacking. They quit. Happens all the time. Okay? Those are the things that keep people from being successful. You got to stay away from those things. Don't give yourself excuses. Don't make up excuses and say that you've got it down when you're really not doing all those things that you need to be doing. Self. I'm talking to me too. Okay? I'm talking to all of us, including myself. Okay? It doesn't matter the rank. It doesn't matter the points. It doesn't matter anything. It matters about you specifically. Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe that you're worthy of success? Do you believe that you can do the things that need to be done in order to get yourself a lucrative business? Whatever that looks like for you. Whether it's $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, paying your mortgage, making car payments and paying off debt, whatever the case it may be. Maybe it's a $100,000 a year salary. I don't know. But do you believe you can do it? That's the question. It's not about whether you can do it. I know you can do it. I don't doubt it one bit. Any single one of you can do this. But do you believe it? That's the question. Please forgive me if I sounded like I was scolding you. I love you so much. I don't want to scold you. I love you. I wish I could hug all of you and just tell you how much I love you. So those of you who are watching the playback know that too. All right. Thanks for joining us. We are going to have our discussion. I can't wait to hear what people are going to say.